The first thing you should accomplish is planning out your letters. Each letter should be an element of art, and I would list next to it what it is. And then once you have your plan, you're going to draw it out onto the poster board and color in all of your images. I would use Sharpie to do this. When you finish all of them is when you're going to cut them out. Now this is very hard poster board, so you're going to really take your time with your scissors. You may have to kind of cut along the line and then come in from the edge to kind of take off that piece. Making some curves can be kind of challenging with this. So you can see here I'm kind of cutting into the two edges of the E, and then I'm going to kind of bend it so that I can get ready to try to fit my scissors in without ripping my letter. So just keep that in mind, that you're going to have to really take your time with cutting because this is a very, very thick poster board. Once you get all of your letters cut out, it will be time for assembly. Definitely wait to start cutting out your letters until you have finished all of them, because if they go missing, you'll have to redo them. Now that all my pieces are cut out and I have my base, which is also colored, and I have a piece of lighter weight poster board, that I'm going to turn this lightweight piece of poster board into the stand. So I am going to go ahead and fold that into thirds, and this is going to end up getting hot glued to my base. Now, make sure that you've colored your base some way, but you can leave the stand uncolored unless you want to. You can color it in as well. All right, we're going to be using hot glue guns, and hot glue is hot, so make sure you're never touching the tip of the hot glue gun. If you don't know how to load the hot glue gun, once it starts to run out, you just put in another one behind it. Don't try to pull out the hot glue gun stick that's already in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of hot glue along the edges here. Try not to drip hot glue on yourself. It will burn and it could scar. So be very careful. I'm going to attach this into kind of a triangle shape. And then once I have that, I'm going to be attaching it to the base. I probably shouldn't have glued over my base, because if I drip on it, it's going to rip when I try to pull the hot glue off. So I would suggest moving your base kind of out of your way while you're hot gluing. And it does dry really quick, so try to move semi-quickly as you try to put it on your stand. So I'm going to put my hot glue on my stand, and then I'm going to get ready to glue that to my base, kind of centered on the base. After I get that done, I'm going to go ahead and grab some scissors, and I'm going to use a slot technique to apply my letters to my stand. When you are starting to assemble your letters, you're going to want to kind of consider how they're going to look. We are going to put them all forward facing. There is some writing on the back of the thick poster board that if we face the letters backward, you're going to be able to see that, and it's going to make it kind of look sloppy. So as you have your letters, you're going to kind of snip into them once you decide where they're going to go, and you're going to put a little slit into the stand that you've created. That is for you to insert and kind of puzzle piece the two together. So make sure that you know where you want it to go before you add these slits into your letters. And then I'm going to slide them together to make sure they're going to stay. I am going to put some hot glue on it. Please hot glue from the back. I don't want to see all of the hot glue, so make sure you're hiding it as best as possible. So I'm just going to kind of turn this guy around, and I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to the back here. You're also going to notice that you get these little spider web string kind of things. Make sure you're kind of cleaning those up as you go, otherwise it can get a little out of control. And I'm just going to keep adding all of my pieces. I'm going to keep them forward facing, so all of my letters facing one direction. So make sure you decide which is the front. Obviously my front is wherever my colored part of my letters are facing. And as you're starting to assemble things, make sure you can kind of see them. You don't always have to do the slot technique. Like I'm going to add my paintbrush here, which is representing the element of color, and I'm just going to hot glue it to the front to kind of show it off in the front of my sculpture here. And then I'm going to keep using that slot technique, kind of positioning my letters to see where I should line them up before I apply them. thinking about maybe not putting colors that are similar, like right next to each other, spreading them out. It's okay if we can't read your word. They do not have to be in order. That's just the foundation of it. It doesn't matter if anybody can actually read what it says at the end. So I'm just going to keep going here and try to position these and attach them.